Next, San Diego is trying a different approach to keep our streets safer for pedestrians. We'll show you if they are effective. Plus, we dig into the numbers after the election, what they say about local Latino voters and support for President-elect Donald Trump. And a robot is supposed to improve safety at a local apartment complex. However, residents there are having issues with their high-tech neighbor. Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Heather Myers. Here at CBS 8, we are working for you and getting to the bottom of problems you've asked about. We're looking for solutions. We begin with the city of San Diego and the work happening to end pedestrian deaths. More and more roundabouts are being built across the city with the hope of saving lives. CBS 8's Steve Price visited a site where a roundabout is being built and is working for you by taking a closer look at their effectiveness.
This is a new roundabout being built as we speak here in Pacific Beach. The goal to slow drivers down, make our streets safer for pedestrians. And experts say these things work.
We have them in Bird Rock, the Balboa Park area, and Oak Park. 22 already completed with plans to build dozens more, and in the future, possibly hundreds of them. Working for you, we took a closer look at the benefits of roundabouts, which generally cost more than $2 million apiece.
Roundabouts slow traffic down.
Jeremy Bloom is with Circulate San Diego, a nonprofit dedicated to making our streets safer.
There's a 90% reduction in traffic fatalities when a roundabout's installed in an intersection, and a 76% reduction in traffic injuries when a roundabout's put in.
In 2015, the city launched what it called its Vision Zero campaign, with a goal to reduce pedestrian fatalities to zero within 10 years. But now, just a few months away from that deadline, we're trending in the wrong direction. In 2021, we had 67 deaths. A year later, 69. And last year, 70. Jeremy says several factors are contributing to that increase.
Cars are bigger than they were a decade ago. They're moving faster. And we just haven't built all the infrastructure that we need to build.
But Jeremy sees positive steps to turning things around, like the roundabouts, and more obvious ways to identify crosswalks.
Brighter signals, those flashing lights, and then stripping, paint on the ground so that there's crosswalks that are well defined and labeled.
The city also noted another positive with roundabouts. Since cars rarely have to come to a complete stop, they reduce emissions, telling us in a statement, because of their many safety benefits, constructing roundabouts are a key component of the city of San Diego's Vision Zero efforts to eliminate traffic fatalities and severe injury. Roundabouts deliver increased safety to intersections while also lowering vehicle emissions in their surrounding community, part of the city's climate action strategy to lower vehicle emissions overall. This roundabout at Foothill and Loring in Pacific Beach is expected to be completed early next year. Working for you, Steve Price, CBS 8.
And Steve, thanks. Cleanup efforts are still happening after a fuel truck overturned a month ago in El Cajon. The truck was carrying thousands of gallons of gasoline. CBS 8's Jasmine Ramirez visits the site where this happened and finds out what progress has been made.
We checked in with the city of El Cajon. They say cleanup efforts are now focused on removing soil underneath the sidewalk and the road where the gasoline spilled.
This fuel truck flipped over in the intersection of Fletcher Parkway and Navajo Road. Heartland Fire says it was carrying 8,800 gallons of gasoline.
We didn't know what was going on until later on when we started looking it up.
David's family lives in a neighborhood nearby. They saw fuel flowing into the storm drains and could smell gas days after the October 9th spill.
It was weird. I smelled more gas like the next few days afterwards. I think it's when they were cleaning out all the rain canals and stuff like that.
Some homes in the area had to be evacuated, and others were advised to shelter in place. Traffic in the area has also been affected, and lanes have been closed as crews work to clean up the gas.
They'll block off that whole road and not kind of warn anybody. So, like, say we're going to go pick them up or take them to school, we'll have to take a detour.
The city says the EPA is directing the cleanup. Some residents are surprised to see crews still out working nearly 1 month later.
It's surprising, but I mean, we've never seen it before, so it's not like we know what to expect.
We're told next the trucking company's contractor will begin fixing the street, sidewalks, traffic signals, and landscaping at the intersection. We didn't get a specific timeline of when work will be complete. Jasmine Ramirez, CBS 8.
Experts say a growing number of Latino voters helped Donald Trump secure his second presidential win. CBS 8 Shannon Handy is working for you and spoke with local Latinos who voted for Trump and a UC San Diego professor about the shift in politics.
Right now, exit polls show Trump had a larger share of the Latino vote compared to 2020. Now, while some may find that surprising, the people I spoke with say it's not, given a variety of reasons.
To say that we are elated would be an understatement.
Surrounded by members and supporters of a group Escondido Republican women, Linda Lopez Alvarez explained why she never doubted Donald Trump would win the presidential election.
In 2016, we had that silent majority, but it was too big this time. I just had a gut feeling, and I believe in the American people, and I think they spoke loud and clearly.
Linda has met Trump and served as a delegate at the Republican convention a number of times. She says Latinos are increasingly supporting Trump because they have conservative family values and aren't seeing their lives improve with Democrats in charge.
The most important thing is to take care of our families, and if you can't afford groceries and you can't afford gas to get to work, all those extras are impossible to give your children.
According to a CBS exit poll, Donald Trump received 45% of the Latino vote, which is an 11% increase from 2020. I sat down with Rafael Fernandez de Castro, director of UCSD's Center for U.S.-Mexican Studies. Like Linda, he says the increase in Latino support for Trump did not come as a surprise for the reasons she explained, as well as the fact this year's pool included a lot of first-time Latino voters.
They didn't experience his presidency in 2016 to 2020. I would say a lot of them voted for him because I would say he represents an easy answers to the problems.
One of those problems, the economy, which was listed as a top concern in the CBS exit poll. Regarding Trump's anti-immigration rhetoric and border policies, Rafael says Latino voters believe his insults don't apply to them, and the majority want a more secure border.
The immigrant that come first, they don't want others to continue to come because they believe that this might depress the salaries.
Rafael says Trump's anti-abortion policies also resonated with Latino voters. Moving forward, he believes their influence on elections will continue to grow.
Almost 14 million Latinos did not register to vote. So there's an under-registration of Latinos.
As for Linda, she plans to be at the inauguration, telling me no matter who you voted for, she hopes for a less divisive future.
I think it's time for us to come together as Americans.
Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
An autonomous robot is working to deter crime at an apartment complex in Claremont. However, some residents say this security guard robot is now causing some issues. CBS 8's Jasmine Ramirez is working for you and brings us the tenants' concerns to the security company.
Been talking with people in this apartment complex about the security guard robot. Now we've learned that they've named him Wally and they've had some very close encounters.
I'm a security robot. Nice to see you here.
I say, listen, move, I need to move my car. And he went and he moved.
Graciela lives in the Stratton apartment complex in Claremont and knows the robot all too well. The robot is designed to enhance security with its 365-degree cameras, self-driving technology, and AI. However, residents I met tonight are having issues with the robot.
It be hitting cars, it's disrespectful, and it talks to you. It'll tell you to move after it hits your car.
Tonight, we saw a driver struggling to park as the robot blocked her parking spot.
We have to push it out the way of the cars. We have to push it to get in a parking spot. He'll sit in our parking spot and just wait. Yeah, that's Wally.
Here's a video of the robot going in front of moving vehicles, forcing drivers to hit the brakes.
The robot can create an accident. There are kids still running, everywhere.
We interviewed JDS Security Services when the robot began patrolling the apartments back in April.
A lot of catalytic converters are being stolen. So the robot does have the infrared at night, so it'll monitor for any heat signatures.
I checked in with JDS Security Services tonight. I asked if they've heard complaints about the robot or if it's had any issues. They say most residents like having the robot around and that it has helped to reduce crime significantly. Going forward, residents are hopeful to see improvements.
Thank you, because, maybe we didn't know who to complain. But with you guys, that you take this on the air, maybe somebody pay attention and help us to solve the problem.
And fix the robot.
And fix the robot. Yeah, that's his muscle.
I'm a security robot. Nice to see you here.
Jasmine Ramirez, CBS 8.
Ah, looks like a pain. All right, coming up next, we look at the research into wildfire smoke and potential health impacts. Still to come, how to make informative decisions with something that may already be in your phone. Then later on, what the Fed's interest rate cuts mean for your money. And will we see a reversal on recent inflation trends? And don't forget, we want to look into the issues affecting you and your community. Email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. Right now, we are still in the heart of wildfire season, and we want to remind you that it's not just the flames that are dangerous. The fires that we have been seeing put up a lot of smoke, and that can have a negative impact on your health. CBS 8's Jenny Day is working for you and spoke with a professor who is studying this topic and shares ways to help us stay safe.
There's a lot of knobs that need to be turned to figure out how can we really keep people safe.
Wildfires ravage San Diego year after year, leading to devastating, dangerous, and deadly consequences.
We don't really think about the air that we're breathing that much, but it is a huge determinant of our health. Around the world, air pollution exposure is one of the leading causes of sickness and death.
Nationwide, wildfire season is getting longer and more intense, exposing Americans to record-breaking amounts of wildfire-related smoke, according to Professor Tracy Holloway from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, who studies air quality.
I got into this as something that was a way to connect science with issues that people care about, our health, our energy systems.
Whether it's wood, vegetation, or family homes burning, wildfires emit chemicals into the air.
Nitrogen oxides are coming off, volatile organic compounds, carbon monoxide, and particles.
We inhale these invisible particles and breathe in these gases without even knowing it.
It's associated with respiratory disease, cardiovascular disease, shortened life outcomes.
It, of course, depends on how big the blaze is and how sensitive your health may be, but our expert says even being exposed to wildfire smoke for one day can cause damage.
It's more this idea that's not everybody will get sick from every wildfire, but some people will get sick.
And the smoke can travel thousands of miles. Professor Holloway also leads a team at NASA that helps make satellite data more relevant when it comes to decision-making on air quality and our health. You may remember last year, wildfires burning in Canada turned New York a burnt orange.
So the idea that smoke from Canada could affect, Southern California, may be surprising, but when you see it from space and you can trace the plume going the whole way, it really is as clear as day.
The Environmental Protection Agency makes monitoring our air quality easy, though. In your smartphone's weather app, it shows the air quality index. Green is good, yellow, moderate. Orange means unhealthy for sensitive groups like children, the elderly, and people with pre-existing conditions like asthma. If you see red, it means the air is unhealthy for everyone. Maroon and purple, even worse.
Since the Clean Air Act in 1970 and before that in California, measures have been in place to make our air cleaner and cleaner. And except for wildfires, it's been a good news story. Our air has been getting cleaner for every chemical from most places. So I think the challenge is, how do we update and respond to these sources that are beyond our control?
On days when the air quality is bad, head to a safe indoor space. If not at home, something like a cooling center or the public library that can provide filtered air.
If it is smoky outside, then a good strategy is to stay inside. And air conditioning is really effective at filtering out ozone, which is one of the invisible gases that we're concerned about. And indoor air purifiers are a great way to filter out particulate matter.
And those masks we're all too familiar with now are also effective in protecting your lungs. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day.
Well, still to come, a warning about a toy gun, not necessarily for what it does, but for the packaging. We'll show you why some people are concerned. There's a new children's toy gun on the market that's raising some concerns, not entirely because of the product itself, but because of the wording on the box. CBS 8's Jenny Day has more.
I know we just made it through Halloween, but you know it. That means the holiday shopping season is near. And one CBS 8 viewer reached out to us with concerns about a children's toy.
Marketed towards children, and it was all about violence and rage and being manic and angry and being violent. And it was, I just didn't think it was appropriate.
The Zuru X-Shot, a Sam's Club exclusive. They're on display that comes with the words manic, berserko, mad mega barrel, motorized rage fire, and insanity on the box.
It's about basically losing control and using this weapon. I believe that this product has definitely crossed the line.
Retired teacher Alex Long says the manufacturer and retailer have failed given the current political climate and number of school shootings. Long isn't completely against toy guns, but while out shopping, the wording stuck out.
I don't think it's good for, our young people, honestly.
With firearms being the leading cause of death of children in the U.S., we asked Dr. Willow Jenkins to weigh in.
Toys like this really, truly come across as very insensitive.
She oversees the psychiatric emergency room at Rady Children's Hospital, where they're seeing 10 to 20 children a day coming in with anxiety, depression, and thoughts of suicide. She says the words on the box only contribute to the stigma surrounding mental health.
This is a very real myth that exists, that people with mental health are more violent. And that's not true. The fact that this word is emblazoned on a toy semi-automatic weapon is incredibly offensive and problematic.
The Zuru X-Shot says it's for those 8 and older, and right there on the back of the box, it says this product could be mistaken for an actual firearm, adding it may be a crime to brandish or display the product in public. Dr. Jenkins says children also don't always know the difference between real and toy guns.
There has been some research that is done that's shown that children who have played with toy guns are more likely to pick up a real gun.
We reached out to the toy maker Zuru for comment, but have not heard back. Reporting in College Grove, Jenny Day, CBS 8.
With inflation falling, the Federal Reserve is cutting its benchmark rate by 1/4 percentage point. Well, that's good news for car buyers who are seeking an auto loan, and they hope the costs come down. Now, people with credit card debt are also feeling a little relief from the record high interest, but mortgage rates are actually on the rise. CBS News business analyst Joe Schlesinger says that mortgages are influenced more by the bond market than the Fed.
Now that the election results are in, the bond market is somewhat worried that Trump tariffs could lead to higher prices.
That was Jill Schlesinger weighing in there. Now, President-elect Donald Trump has proposed a 10% tariff on goods imported from other countries. Economists at Goldman Sachs believe that may push inflation up from 2.4% to nearly 3%, and rising inflation could slow down future interest rate cuts. Well, that is going to do it for us. Remember, if there's something that you would like us to look into, you can email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.